Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Rukak Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David, reborn again. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, who before losing their true heritage were known as Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about brain implants. But let's get to this scripture first. This is Revelations 13 and 16. And he caused us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. Recently, there was a medical miracle that took place. You see, researchers over in England, they got this paralyzed man to walk again using implants in his brain. It tells you here, it says, paralyzed man moves in mind-reading exoskeleton. Now, as that scripture just read to you, he's going to cause everybody to either take a chip implant in their hand or in their foreheads, which basically just means their head. Now you see, ultimately, this right here, what you're seeing, is going to be one of the avenues that the devil of this earth, the people known as the nation of Edom in the Bible, the so-called Caucasian race or the so-called white race, the people in power, the very top elite, this is ultimately what they want to do. And let's watch this real quick. There's
the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
everything.
you sell.
Everything is in there.
So that was the former movie director, investigator Aaron Russo, who was murdered for coming out and making that statement. It shook the elite's infrastructure so much that the man who Aaron Russo has photos with and has evidence he met him, Nick Rockefeller, now said they say that guy never existed. Well, this right here is just one of the avenues. You see, even though this right here is a clunky exoskeleton, and I'm gonna show you the video in just a bit. This is to show you that they've started this step where they're gonna start offering people these false miracles to be able to walk again once you've been made lame. You know, let me get the scripture. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, that's us prophets out there telling the truth of the Bible, interpreting this for the people, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, and with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. You see, this right here is a lying wonder that Esau is doing to basically get this to happen. He wants to be able to implant microchips in people's brains, be it for convenience, perceivable upgrades, or in this case, return mobility and function of a broken body, right? So in this case here, it's obviously extremely big, but you see they're going to get this, they're just beginning with this technology, right? Let's actually just read it and let's see what they say. So it says, paralyzed man moves in mind-reading exoskeleton. A man has been able to move all four of his paralyzed limbs with the mind-controlled exoskeleton suit. French researchers report. Thibault 30 said taking his first steps in the suit felt like being the first man on the moon. His movements, particularly walking, are far from perfect, and the robo-suit is being used only in the lab. But researchers say that the approach could one day improve patients' quality of life. It tells you, it says, Thibault had surgery to place 2 implants on the surface of the brain, covering the part of the brain that controls movement. You see, so this guy here, you got the chip. You know, this may be a bigger version of it, but ultimately it's going to come down to where it's going to be small implants. It could be an RFID chip. You know, but this is just one example how they're working on this technology to be able to read your mind, to control your body, right? You can see here, it's basically the robot is actually doing the movement and his body's just moving along, but the signals are ultimately coming from his brain. So right now, as you're going to see in this video, it's clunky, but this is what they're going to offer to people, and people are going to be out there and they're going to take this chip. You know, the people who've been stuck in wheelchairs, that are stuck in those beds, they can't move. Those people are going to be offered this. You know, and remember, this is going to be far advanced in the, you know, when they release it. It'll probably look like it'll probably be form-fitting, and we probably won't even be able to notice it that much. But this is ultimately to get that microchip implanted in you. But that's what this guy's doing. Now, like I said, all that is so that way Edom, the ruling nation of the planet right now, can fulfill their plan to microchip every human in the world, as it told you in the scripture. Because once they get that done, they'll be able to control everybody, and then just like Aaron Russo had said, they'll be able to control society without much rebelling, like what you're seeing around the world right now in Hong Kong, France, I think in Germany or Iraq just recently came out. There's big riots over there. You see, the elites want to do away with that as they start to thin out the herd. Because remember, on the Georgia Guidestone, it tells you they want to get rid of 7.5 billion people on the earth, leaving only 500 million. And that ain't going to be the useless eaters as they mentioned, because they're planning on getting rid of all of us. But ultimately, they're going to come with you with these offers for these chips to remove your paralyzed limbs, inability to walk or move, and it's going to be tempting. And you're probably going to even need it to. You're going to need it to function in this society. So it's not probably, you will. So you're going to ultimately have to exit out of society as you know it. And because this is what's going to happen if you take that mark. This is Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night. Without who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here's they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahweh Shai. So you see, one of these days soon, you're going to be offered one of these chips, either for your hand or your head, and it's going to come with multiple options. It's going to offer you the chance to walk again, to move again, to be in a society, to be included in relief efforts, to feed your children, to not have to worry about water, right? Not to worry about shelter. It's going to come with its lying wonder. But in the end, if you take it, you're going to get front row seats to the end of the world, and you're going to be burning up in that lake of fire whose fire is going to smoke forever and ever. So, you're going to start seeing more of these stories come out, more people starting to attribute their miracle or their new life to the chip. So just be on the lookout, Akim. So until next time, I want to go and give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kwakwardash, double honors to my teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect who are the house of David again. Shalom.